Okay, roll call, please. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. So roll call and then we start. So what?
It's visible.
Okay, fine. We start. I will just take first a roll call. I will just glance through it. Okay, Galaxy A50. I'm reviewing you. I don't know your this Karthikani. Karthikani, next time please join with your own name. Do not do this thing at same time. Who is Kushagra? Kushagra Basotia. Please identify yourself.
He's a friend of mine.
Okay, fine, fine. Okay, good. Everyone in now. So today's topic is gut-brain axis or gut-brain linkage. Dr. Chavi Baid is MD gynecologist, and along with her husband, she has her own hospital, gynec endoscopy, laparoscopy, and diagnostic center in Kishanganj, Bihar. And her expertise, apart from gynae and laparoscopy endoscopy, is about marital counseling and intimate counseling. Dr. Chavi will talk about that in detail as well. And her also one of her major expertise is gut-brain linkage. I am one of her client for gut-brain linkage and have benefited immensely after following diet schedule and all those things. And some of you, those who know me personally, they know what kind of food I eat: lactose-free, gluten-free, and all those things. So for good gut-brain linkage, you don't need to be following all those strict diet, but definitely what you eat determines your mood and all those things. So you will enjoy this session as I have enjoyed being her client. So Dr. Chavi, you can please unmute and continue. And she will continue to talk till 6:50, 6:50, and later that something else. Okay. So thank you, everyone.
A very good evening to all of you. So it's an honor and a privilege to be a part of the NHCA family. And I've been seeing all the sessions, being a participant in the previous sessions. I feel so good being a part of this in the Corona times also. So a very interesting topic, which I will be covering today, is the gut-brain axis. And before I do so, I would also like to say a big hello to my parents who are over here. And also a very, very good associate and a friend, Dr. Akhilesh. He's Associate Professor of Psychiatry in PGI Chandigarh. So a very big hello and welcome to this small webinar. And I hope that I don't want to include the main terms in the medical schools as we learn, to make it more simplified so that we can understand it on a more layman basis. So let's start with the topic today. So our body, right, on the.
Welcome, Dr. Akhilesh. Welcome, Auntie and parents of Dr. Chavi. Thank you for joining.
So let's start with the slide. Our body is an intelligent supercomputer. So I would like to cover three main things. That when I started the medical school, that is the MBBS, we used to think that every system is different. The GI tract is different. The body is a complicated machine. But slowly, we have learned through the years that everything interacts. All the systems are interacting, although they may have some super or special functions, but still the whole body is interacting. And we used to think, or sometimes the surgeons and the doctors, they think that if the body is working well, like a fast car, everything is all right. And acute problems like appendicitis or some surgery is needed. Okay, you got diarrhea, you take some medicines. So you give certain medicines for the acute problem and everything is over. So this is what for the past, 30 to 40 years, we've been thinking that the body is like a machine. It is a machine model. This is what we were thinking. But as we know that there has been a mysterious decline in our health and new challenges are coming up in our world. The new challenges I would like to say are the chronic illnesses which just don't go by taking lot of medicines. Even Parkinsonism, the neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's disease, dementia, and the new spectrum disorder of autism, which is on a high. And every 1 in 10 children who are being born, they are linking it with either autism spectrum disorder or with attention deficit disorders, ADHD. But I would like to cover that this is a very intricate model. Our body is not segregated, it is together, and especially the gut and the brain is related. I would also like to speak a little bit on the gut microbes and how the importance of gut microbes in our body is the link or the missing link between the gut as well as the brain. So first I would like to tell that there is a highway between the gut and the brain and how it does so. This is what we are going to focus now. How the brain talks with the gut. It seems that the emotions in the brain, like for example, you can see on the slide like fear, anger, and sadness. There are certain signals which are sent inside the brain. In fact, when you are driving or whenever you are in a traffic jam, and you experience anger as an emotion, then you can feel that, or sadness or fear, you can feel certain changes in the gut or in the stomach. Emotions, it seems, are closely reflected in the person's facial expressions, but even the gut has its own thing, but we are not able to see that. It seems like in the chart, as you can see, that if there is fear in the body, if there is fear in the brain, then the motility or the stomach, it reduces the activity, and the activity in the intestines increases. I don't know, but many of us, when we were young, we were fearful of the main exams. I used to see many of our friends, or even me, going to the bathroom again and again. And there has been incidences where people have got diarrhea, people have got loose motions before a very fearful exam, before going to an exam or facing an interview. Similarly, in anger, it seems that both the motility of the gut as well the secretions inside the stomach, they increase. And in sadness, everything decreases. You will find, in fact, we find this a lot, that whenever a person is depressed or he or she is very sad, then the motility of the gut reduces, and there have been linkages with chronic constipation.
Dr. Chavi,
Yes.
you can make it full screen now. It will work.
Okay.
You can take help. Oh, yes, you know that. Good.
Yeah, that's. Yeah? Is that okay?
Can you try changing the slides, please? Go back one slide.
Yes, yes.
It's
yes.
working. Continue, please.
Yes, yes. So, in a depressed person, we have seen often that the symptoms are that there is no movement of the gut. In fact, there are certain areas where the esophagus or the food pipe, it constricts. The person withholds the emotion. So, even the gut motility reduces. All right. So, we would like to discuss a little bit of detail. So, this is a small aspect to tell you that there is a link how the brain is talking with the gut. So before we go out, ahead, I would like you to come up with certain emotions that, or a language expression which would, tell us, or it is frequently used in English, that have you ever felt any emotion in your gut? Anybody can come out with, or in the chat. What are the emotions that you think you have felt in your gut? Yeah, great. So a little slide on this. that how we are able to feel emotions in the gut. Like, for example, there's a good expression in English, oh, I was in tied up knots. You know, there were butterflies in my stomach, or I have a gut feeling about it. We have been using these expressions for such a long period of time. And it seems that the scientists and the researchers have come up with something like that the gut is the theater in which the drama of emotion plays out. A little picture just for humor, but it's very true. For example, you are in some brainy situation and you follow your gut. You follow your gut, that my gut feeling is right about it. I can't go. Why do we say that? Because it seems that the gut has very important factor. It has many important factors, which actually nowadays it has been discussed that they help in even decision making in your life, what you are going to do in your future. And that missing link is the gut microbiota, the microbes, the living or the healthy microbes which are in our intestines, they are living over there. So this is a very important thing which I'm going to cover today. So slide on how what happens and how the gut reacts to the stressful environment, stress lifestyle. How does it react? It seems that whenever we are in a stressful situation, whenever we are in a situation of survival, so there is a factor known as corticotropin releasing factors, the CRF. And I think many of us know CRF by now. Many reports you might be seeing of your loved ones in the corona crisis. What is the CRF? What is the CRF? There have been many reports where we see the cortico releasing this factor, which helps us to know that there is a lot of stress in the body. And when this factor goes into the gut reacts to it. Now, this stress-induced CRF in the brain is associated with more stressful hormones like cortisol and norepinephrine, which we need not be concerned, but we can just call them as stressful hormones. And they stimulate the gut in a response. The gut will react to it. It will impact the composition of the gut microbiota and the activity of gut microbiota. And you will be shocked to know that whatever memory that we are putting, whatever stressful factors that we are going through, they go in a memory, even in the gut and even in the brain. So the little brain in your gut. So what I would like to say that the gut also has a brain of its own. If you open the intestines, you will be amazed to know that the surface area where these microbes are living is of a basketball court. It is so big. And this little brain in our language is known as the ENS, or the enteric nervous system. I would want you to know that there are two more molecules like serotonin, which is the ultimate gut brain releasing molecule. This is the channel, or this is the way through which they communicate with each other. And another hormone known as the ghrelin, which is important for us to know the satiety, whether we are, are we hungry or we are full and we don't want to eat more. Okay, so this little hormone is also important. It goes and gives the vital information to the brain. So the second brain that I was talking about, it is made up of many nerve cells, around 50 to 100 million nerve cells, and the immune cells which reside inside, along with the microbes inside, they consist of the largest component of the body's immune system. If someone wants to know that where is the immune system in the body, the immune system is the system of the body which helps us fight against the germs. So the best area, the largest area is the gut. And another thing I would like to add to this is that it seems that only 10% of the human cells are our own. The rest is all the microbes and all the DNA and all the genes of the microbiota. So now that was the brain talking to the gut. And how will the gut respond, or how will the gut react to the brain? So how it talks to the brain. So it seems that the sensations are that sometimes we are aware of. The only gut sensations that we are generally aware are those that require a response. Like for example, if we are hungry, we want to eat, or now we are full, we can't eat. And sometimes there are gurgling sounds. Sometimes, there's something known as borbrechmy, that is a medical word. So these gurgling sounds we think that this is the only way that the gut communicates, but that's not true. Along with the food cravings and the irritability in the intestines or a globus sensation, here I would like to highlight this globus sensation. It is the sensation of feeling that there is something inside the junction, or there's something inside the lower abdomen or upper abdomen. There's something which is, there sticking and not letting me eat properly. So that sensation that you have, or that sensation that something is protruding inside, or there is something which is there, that is something that the gut wants to tell to the brain. What it is probably a reaction to stressful or anxiety or any kind of fear that we are going through. So this is a reaction that the gut gives to the brain. And bloating, belching, some kind of sternal pain. Sternal pain means chest pain. Okay. So these are certain things which the gut will try to tell to the brain on a very macroscopic level. But on a microscopic level, there are certain things which are very important through the gut microbiota, through those microbes, through the metabolites of those microbes, which help us or which give a certain memory to the brain. So what is the vital information our gut is reporting? Is the contractions, peristalsis, that is the movement of the intestines, and food transit time, right amount of acid, whether it has to secrete or not, composition of the meal, how the meal was it fatty, was it lean, what is more proteinaceous, was there food or not, and how this gut microbiota is working. So the most important component over here are the microbes. So why are they important? So the most important thing over here is that they speak to us. Not to us, I mean to the brain. They speak in the form of the metabolites that they make. The colony of microbes in you or in my mother or in Dr. Mittal is different. It is unique. It is unique in the whole world. Like your fingerprints, the microbes that you have in your body are totally different. The healthy bacteria that you have in your body are totally different. So that make you a unique person, having unique experiences, having unique memories, and having a unique system. Okay. So it seems that the chemicals that come out from these, microbes, they create memory, good memories as well as the toxic memories. A little example, I just wanted to remember to tell you that there was a small girl called Dahlia, and her mother used to be very finicky about clearing the bubble when she was very small. So she used to give regular enemas to her because she couldn't defecate for a long period of time. And many of us have seen, many of the mothers over here, they know that sometimes the children, the infants or the babies, they don't, defecate. So 4, 5, even 7 days, the children take. So what her mother did, not knowing the importance of, the microbes or something, she used to give her regular enemas. In fact, the enemas were so regular that she got habituated and she couldn't defecate or she could not pass the stools on her own. And slowly she developed the anxiety and the irritability and depression, and everything was, just mustered or clustered towards these symptoms and towards her abdomen. So her colon was dead and she was very, very panicky. She used to get panic attacks. So what the doctors did, they did a lot of testing, they did a lot of CT scans and everything, and nothing came out. And finally, they started on something of improving the gut microbiota. And they gave her a rich fiber diet. And slowly it seems that when her, the colon moved and she became all right, all her anxious and depression and all those symptoms also slowly became nil, right? So a very important thing and very interesting fact I would like to, put here is that there are certain viruses which are also microbes, like the toxoplasmosis, which causes disease in pregnancy and otherwise also. And you must be knowing about the rabies virus. So these viruses are very clever. How these viruses know how to manipulate the behavior of the host that they are in, right? So what does the rabies virus. It goes into the amygdala, it goes into the brain of the host. It knows where it has to reside, and it increases the aggressive behavior of the host. It makes the person feel, out of control. In fact, even the people who have got, rabies, they try to bite and become aggressive, so that the virus basically wants to transmit itself to the other person. So this is how it manipulates the behavior of the host. So why am I telling this story here is that they are very clever. The microbes, either the viruses or the bacteria, sometimes they have the brain of their own, and they know how to manipulate things. They know where to go and what to do. So these are the bad viruses, but then we have the good microbes as well. Okay, so the good microbes, they sense us, they sense the things that we need, they sense, they give certain good signals also. For example, I would like to comment over here that most of the serotonin, which is a very good hormone in the body, which, helps the body to remain calm and composed, is secreted mostly in the intestines. 95% of it. In fact, Dr. Akhilesh, he will agree with me that for depression, we are giving SSRIs. What are SSRIs? Are serotonin reuptake inhibitors. We want to increase serotonin levels in these people because they are depressed. So it seems that serotonin, when it increases, it reduces the depression in the people. So along with this, so the microbes, they mediate communication. So here we are, strengthened, and we have this concept that the gut and the brain, they speak with each other. They are communicating, they are sharing a lot of information, whether you are awake or you are sleeping, they are talking. They are talking something very big. And they are, depicting the future, they are depicting the events, even how your lifestyle, your food cravings, and, in fact, it is said that even your social behavior, how your social interactions are going to be, it is mediated by the communication between the gut and the brain. Now, a little slide on the microbe diversity. So many of us have a lot of microbes inside. To name a few, we know lactobacilli. Lactobacilli is the microbe or healthy bacteria which is in the curd or the yogurt. And everyone knows that it is good for the tummy. Whenever you are getting loose motions or diarrhea, we are saying, please take curd. Take something in like a yogurt or curd. It will improve your gut, like that. It seems that if you have a lot of microbes, a lot of healthy bacteria with a lot of diversity in them, then the vulnerability for brain disorders is less. So this little picture, it says that if there is a low diversity, then neurodevelopmental disorders like inflammatory bowel syndrome, many people have that, anxiety and autism is increased when there is less microbiota or less diversity in the microbiota of little babies and children while they are growing. And neurodegenerative disorders like dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinsonism. These are the diseases which are more if you have less diversity of microbiota in your gut. And the healthy ones, they are able to deal and tackle life situations in a better way. They are more stable and they are more resilient to physical as well as mental challenges. A little note on early childhood stress and hypersensitivity of the gut. It seems that the children who have seen a negative environment were programmed for stress from the initial, early childhood years. They had this tendency to secrete CRP, as I told before, from the brain, and this has sensitized the gut. So whenever they are in a sensitive situation, or whenever they are in a serious situation which is dealing with anxiety or uncertainty, they release CRP very fast, and the gut is very hypersensitive to it. And you will come across many children who will come up with things like, I have a stomach issue, like मेरे ना पेट में दर्द होता है. Anything happened at home, mummy, I had a stomach ache. So this stomach ache, kindly do not take it casually. A stomach ache is not a stomach ache only. A stomach ache is telling you something. It is communicating with the brain. It is giving anxiety. You will see even the young adults, whenever they are dealing with situations, there is some kind of constriction or an ache. So it is important for us to deal with things with the children who are growing up and increase the microbiota diversity, which I'm going to come in a while, how to do that. So very interesting thing I would like to comment here, that anyone can come up with something like, do you have an evidence for that? You know, do you have an evidence for that? Have you seen it in real? Yes, we have been seeing it for real, but we have seen this absolutely true in the rat experiments. It happened so that there were two experiments done on the rats. One of the section of the rats were very timid. They wanted to sit alone in a corner, and the other rats were very, very adventurous, and they were trying to fight all the time that how can I get out of this jail? How can I get out of the cage? So they were very adventurous, and they were, bubbling around here in the other cage. So what they did, that the scientists, they took some fecal matter. They took fecal pellets, and they implanted the fecal pellets of the adventurous ones into the timid rats. And you will be amazed to know the outcome, that this is how the gut microbiota behaves. It alters the behavior. Those timid rats had started to become more, adventurous, and they had improved, or whatever you may say, changed their lifestyle. They had become less timid and more adventurous. Similarly, they did it. They wanted to see and they wanted to conduct studies on obesity. So they took the fecal matter, or in our term we say FMT. FMT is fecal matter transplantation into the obese rats. So the lean rats who were more healthy, the microbiota or the fecal pellets were taken and put into the obese rats. And you will be shocked to know that they were, in weeks or months' time, the rats had leaned down. They had not become fat. So they are considering, there has been studies on humans, and they are considering that FMT can be used in humans to increase the type of microbiota of a unique or a specific person. And if it is given to other people, it may improve the outcomes. But still, there is a lot of research to be done on this matter, but we are going ahead with this. So how can we improve or get to something known as an optimal health? Before knowing what is optimal health in human beings, we must know what is something known as pre-disease, not disease per se, that he or she is diseased with a certain problem. It is something known as pre-disease or preventive. Pre-disease is the thing which we can work with this microbes or this gut microbiota theory and improve ourselves. So the road towards optimal health goes from knowing what a pre-disease is. Pre-disease is something where a person can feel chronically stressed, mentally stressed, and literally very much worried. They can have poor sleep, loss of energy, fatigue symptoms, aches in the body, and you will find many people, in fact, day in and day out. I have been seeing patients who have been, complaining about all this. Ma'am, I have pain in the whole body. Now, this is how they come. I have a headache. I have something. I can't, I'm not energetic. I can't do anything. And people having inflammatory bowel disease, passing diarrhea, passing stool so many times without any diagnosis. Okay, fibromyalgia is something when you get up and you have pain in your muscles. You just can't stand correctly on, from your bed. You have to bend down and then you have to do some exercise or something. And then there are certain cases of borderline hypertension. They don't come into hypertension as such, and they don't come into the normal list. So these are the key things which are happening, which are actually telling your body there's something wrong. It will go and it will lead into some kind of disease if we are not working towards it. So how does it happen? What are these symptoms? What is happening in our body? Why are these symptoms arising? Why I am getting pain in the body? Why is there's bloating or fatigue or IBS, some passing stools? Why? This is happening because the stress, the physical and the mental stress, is causing inflammation. A little bit of medical words over here. That means that the inflammatory markers and the cytokines are increasing in our blood because of the stress that we are going through. And when these rise in our bloodstream, then certain signaling molecules, which are actually produced by the fat cells, which are known as LPS, and the C-reactive proteins increase. When they increase, they make our gut very leaky. Leaky means we are not able to take in whatever we have. We are not able to absorb whatever we have eaten. And when this leakiness of the gut increases, then it activates the immune system of the microbes as well as ours. When our immune system is activated, we are on a high. We know that there is something stressful, and these stress, you know, levels which when they increase the immune system and CRP is increased, then inflammation occurs, leading to, you know, a stretch in the tissues, loose tissues as well as the muscles. So when there is a stretch, the stretch causes a kind of pain, and that pain is what we are complaining about. So the food items which can cause inflammation are actually animal-based fat, not lean fat, not the fish or the poultry, but the animal fat. It causes to grow, you know, it gives signaling molecules which increase inflammation. Now, whenever we are stressed, then we have the temptation to go for something sweet. Sometimes I've seen many people who get depressed, or they go in for chocolates, and they go in the temptation for comfort. They start having the cravings for comfort foods. So this is what is happening in our body. Why are we tempted to go for comfort foods? So we need a balance. We need a balance. There are two parts of the human body. Here, what we can do, that the perturbation which is there in the human body, for example, antibiotics, which will decrease the microbes in the gut, infection and stress, they destabilize the human body, and they, you know, they disturb the ecological balance inside. Similarly, the diet, the lifestyle, the genetics, and the early environment, this combine together to form that individual. So what are the things that we can work upon? We can't work upon the genetics now. We can't work upon the early environment unless until the person is pregnant and she knows about it, right? We can work upon the lifestyle, we can work upon the diet, and we can while knowing an insight that the stress will cause this problem, we can work on the stress levels and also the infection. So walking the path to a fit gut, we need to increase the diversity of the gut microbiome that we already have. One point that is very important over here, that if you eat a particular diet, it seems that the Mediterranean diet, which includes olive oil, lot of vegetables, lean fat, is the best diet in the world. But still, now at this juncture, when you are 30 or 40 or even 50, if you know, turn into a Mediterranean diet, it will not be too much of benefit, because already your gut microbiota is set. It is already stabilized with the type of microbes that are already there, right? So no particular diet will change that now. Okay, so what can happen is that we can stabilize and we can create resilience in the gut by improving the metabolites that will be produced from this gut microbiome. Okay, so we can't change everything, because it seems that the microbes which are there in our gut have already, you know, like when Thakur they are sitting, they will not let any other microbes sit there. They are already taken away. You know, the space has been taken away. But with the regular intake of good food, which I'm going to come in the next slide, you know, we can change the metabolites which are formed in the guts, and these metabolites are the chemical substances which can go into the brain and improve the total well-being. And even changing lifestyle, like you know, regular exercise. So when is the time to invest? The first few years, 2.5 years, it seems is the best time to invest in this optimal health. The ladies who are pregnant, patients who are pregnant or breastfeeding or in lactation period, they need to breastfeed their children to give the microbes of their own body, the healthy bacteria of their own body for 1 to 2 years. And they should not use antibiotics in the first first year of birth. People should avoid antibiotics in children, because the infants are growing with a very diverse microbiome. They are full of microbiome which even we don't have. And we should give traditional food to the growing children from age 1 to 5. So what can we do? Why are we sitting here? Can we do something? if we have missed this bus, yes, we can improve by targeting the gut microbiome, which will in turn increase the metabolites, the important and healthy metabolites, right? So this, as we rapidly untangle the complex chemical conversations between the microbes, the guts, and the nervous system, we also extract valuable information to apply this knowledge to improve the people's health. So how to optimize the gut brain health? First thing is that we should practice, or we should have, natural organic farming for our gut. If we don't have a farmhouse, everyone doesn't have a farmhouse at their place, or they don't have land to farm, we can still grow important vegetables on the terrace, or taking some pots, we can, grow herbs, and we should eat the things that we grow. Some of the scientific sessions have told that when we garden by our own hands, when we, do farming and we spend time with the plants, then the plants and the, the those plants know that what is it that we are lacking in our body, and they try to procure from the earth those nutrients for us, and that is how they want to give it back to us. This is what is going on right now. Then we should cut down on animal fat in the diet, because it leads to inflammation. Animal fat should not be there. It leads to inflammation. And maximize your gut microbial diversity by eating lot of things. Like if you are eating only wheat, try to go to other grains as well. Like lot of millets you can go to. You can go for other important, like rice, millets, jowar, sorghum, we say, and ragi. Many different type of things you should try to eat if you are a vegetarian. If you are a non-vegetarian, you should curtail on non-veg and come to different type of poultry foods or the fish foods. Then we have to avoid mass-produced processed foods and maximize the organic foods. We should not buy the things which don't look like food. For example, sweeteners. You're dead against sweeteners. You should always keep in mind that you are buying something which should actually look like food. If you're buying a sweetener, it has been shown in many, scientific journals that eventually they lead to diabetes. Eventually they lead to, increasing the sugar levels. So we should buy things which are food enough and they are organic, or locally grown foods. Then another point is that we should start eating fermented foods and probiotics. Probiotics are the food which contain healthy bacteria. An example of that is kefir. Kefir is a Russian word for, and it's actually now being used all over the world, and we have also started using it at our home. Like it's curd, you can make curd from those grains. Normal curd has only 4 to 5 strains of healthy bacteria, but kefir has around 15 to 20 strains. This is found in the Amazon. You can order it. You can start making curd with kefir grains, and once you bring it once, and it can last for a longer period of time, and you get healthy curd, yogurt, very tasty, good for children, good for aging people. You can eat other fermented foods. You can find out, even the our grannies and our mothers had always pushed into and always had this kind of a thing in our home, in our kitchen. Like we used to eat carrot kanji at the holy time, or we used to eat some kind of fermented foods in our growing time. Nowadays also it should be included in the diet. It should be every day almost. Some form of fermented food we should eat. Like even idlis and dosas, these fermenting things will be very beneficial for our gut microbe. The other things, small names I will be talking, you can search them and you can find, like kimchi, it's a Korean dish, kimchi, and some people ferment the soya beans also, and they make tempeh. So these are little things that you can search and you can make and include the fermented foods in your diet. There's a tea called kombucha tea. That is also a fermented kind of a tea you can include in your diet. Another thing is a little bit towards the brain side, that we should be mindful of the pre-nutrition, and in fact the stress that we are having. We should be mindful for what we are eating. When we are eating, we should eat it mindfully. We should include local grown foods and the seasonal food. This is a very important point. Even to the pregnant women who come, they want to eat strawberry and kiwi. मैंने वहाँ से ये मंगवाया and all that, and they have cherries from Brazil. I don't understand that. Abhi, you have the season of mango and jamun. Kindly pick that up and eat it, because in your environment right now, this is the season, and these are the things which are growing, or these are the things which are flourishing. So the things that you eat will flourish in your tummy also. Your baby will flourish. This is my own agenda. I always try to give the people that they should consume the local grown seasonal food. Okay. Eat smaller portions. Every one of us knows, eat smaller portions, chew it nicely. And there are many things which say that we need to do intermittent fasting. We should fast to starve the gut microbes. They become more resilient, they become more healthy, and they are able to interact, and they don't become lethargic. They are able to interact with the brain in a more powerful way. We should not eat when we are stressed, angry, or sad, because already we are releasing certain hormones, and we should never eat. I have seen people binge eating when they are stressed, they are sad, they are binge eating, they're eating, and just uh, talked and in fact helped a woman who just got married, and she was just 65 kgs. When she came to me after a year of marriage, she was 95. That is bulimia nervosa. She was so fat because she ate in stress. And so we should never eat in stress, angry, or sad, right? Then if we are not stressed and angry, then that means the positive feeling will feel or will make us better. Like, for example, we must enjoy the meals together. Either the children should be sitting with us, or we should be with the family. And that is the, age-old type of thing, which is very difficult nowadays, because everyone has their own, cell phone, and they just want to eat on their own. And listen to the gut feelings, that is mindful eating. Once you start consuming things in a mindful way, you will come to know how much you want to eat. The microbes will tell you this is enough. You don't eat, you should not eat more. You will have that thing. The cravings will come down, and you will be able to eat more properly. A little interesting note: what are prebiotics and what are probiotics? So prebiotics are certain foods which are the food for the probiotics. The probiotics are the healthy bacteria that we need to consume. So little example over here, I have written soybean and onions, bananas, bread, and garlic and asparagus. Even the supplements that we eat are the prebiotics for the probiotics. The probiotics are aged cheese, the yogurt that we make, dark chocolate, pickles that we make, and fermented pickles. जैसे हम लोग खाते हैं सिरके प्याज का सिरके का अचार. This is good. It's a probiotic, right? There are certain pickles that we make. They stay only for 10 to 15 days, and that is good for you. The sour cream and a kefir. Kefir is very good for you. You should search it in Amazon. Try to figure out, make curd out of it. Give it to your younger children so that they improve the the strains in the body. And so now I conclude that the brain gut microbe axis, it links the brain health closely to what we eat, how we grow, how we process our food inside, what medications we take. Do we take them? How we come into the world. It seems that a cesarean section and a normal delivery. In a normal delivery, the child is exposed to a more diverse microbiome of the mother than with the cesarean delivery. Okay, but it's not the only. It is not the only thing that will link or say, okay, all the cesarean births, the children are not going to be healthy. It's not so. It's not so. But it has been linked that if the child is, intimately connected and comes out through the, the vaginal tract or the birth canal, it seems that they have a more diverse microbiota. Okay, and how we interact with the microbes in the environment throughout our life. So with this new awareness, we can shift our focus from treating disease on acute basis towards preventing them, and refining our ability to notice small symptoms in our body, that is the pre-disease form, and achieving a term known as optimal health. So here I conclude my topic today. I would like to say that Dr. Mittal I had a chat with him, and it was very important. He told me, he literally pushed me to do this seminar, this webinar, so that everyone, can get benefited. In fact, by taking it more seriously, I was able to get into the depth of it, and I'm sharing whatever I have, learned from the whole topic. And I would like to invite Eva today for a nice song, because last time she couldn't sing a Tamil song. I would like to take her, take the center stage and sing a nice song for us.
Thanks, Dr. Chavi. It was very good session and a lot of learnings. And one of the session where we finished exactly on time, 6:50. That's really record, I think. That's great. And now this session is over. Those who want to leave can leave, and this will be now entertainment. So we have someone with us who knows little bit Russian. Instead of French, she knows Spanish and Korean, Vietnamese.
1 minute, I need to say something.
Okay, so she will introduce herself. You can
Last
start with
time
your
मैंने
name. English.
फ्रेंच बोल के स्पेनिश गा लिया था. तो आज बता रही थी, और मैं अभी स्पेनिश में इसके बाद रहा हूँ. स्पेनिश में क्या है? इसके बाद ही है.
Yes, so. Dr. Chavi, can you please stop your screen sharing?
Yes, sure.
And please mute yourself. You are comfortable?
Yes.
Okay, that's really good. Okay.
Hi, Eva, how are you?
Hi.
Okay, so those who want some entertainment can continue to attend. So last time Dr. Nivedita Rudraju said that she really wanted to show her, and actually Eva wanted to see your face, but you were in PP that time. And when Dr. Chavi talked today afternoon with Eva, and I was surprised, like she talks with like very nicely. That's great. And yes, Dr. Nivedita, this time we saw your hand raised. That's good. Okay, so spotlight. Okay, continue. So whichever. Yes, you know.
First, I'm going to sing Tamil.
Okay, so this is on request of my Tamil students, Tamil song. Bluetooth
1 minute.
Bluetooth is on? Comfortable? Okay.
Cuckoo, cuckoo, tata tata salawatti, cuckoo, cuckoo, bundeliya rimbin kotti, cuckoo, cuckoo, tannilodum tavaraki, cuckoo, cuckoo. Kembali puji tanggatsi alimara kodyangadame otara sandaname ulamada koni mutarame ingura utaname ya rutapayama lakalamadayama sokutapayama lakalamadayama tayama jennamanamaya baliyamma terandi danne yeta randi innada teran anna kali tadiyara marekkenavan kali kallavadi vanchudi nuvanna kodangani kudi kamagara kadila padiki jani adi kudi nainari unna kula yedi mona kunnamadi enjami vangu unnagi ambai enna mumbari enjami vangu unnagi ambari enna mumbari.
Mic हटा सकते mic से
कुकू मुद्दिल बोरुम बोरिके कुकू open air malike कुकू बच्चे पूसु पासिके कुकू तुके रंग पुरतिके अंतुका अंतुने इतना मेकरे सोचा मिंटू नहीं देना ना खाना खान को ले मुन्ना मुंजती अंगूर
You can hold the mic if you want. Next one.
നാന്റെ മതവളത്തെ കണക്കാട്ടോട്ടെ ഓട്ടോസിൽ ചാലോ ഓ നട്ടോട്ടെ എടലേ ഞടലേ വനമേ സനമേ നലമേ കുലമേ എടമേ തടമേ ഉന്ന എൻജായി അഞ്ചാമി വാങ്ങൂ വാങ്ങൂ ഉന്നാകി ബായേ അമ്പാരി എന്നാ മുമ്പാരി എൻജായി അഞ്ചാമി വാങ്ങൂ വാങ്ങൂ ഉന്നാകി അമ്പായേ അമ്പാരി എന്നാ മുമ്പാരി.
That was good. So should we? Okay, my God.
என்ன குறாயா தீதிக்கு ரொம்பக்கு என்ன குறா என்ன குறாயா என்ன குறா மந்தா மேல பாவகா விட்டிருக்கே நடக்கல் விட்டிருக்கே அப்பா நனங்கே அப்பா நனங்க விட்டிருக்கே enjami bango unnagi ambaye ambari enna mumbari enjami unnagi ambari enna mumbari enjami unnagi enna mumbari enjami bango unnagi ambaye ambari enna எடலே வனமே சனமே நலமே தடமே நலமே தடமே
Nice. Nice.
கூ.
Okay. So one song is over, and when I asked her, like, you will get 5 minutes, she said no, 15 minutes. Okay, then Dr. Chavi said, okay, 15 minutes. So she requested, ma'am, can I have 30 minutes, please? I was like, awesome. Last time this child was super shy, and today she is super confident. So that's really great.
Papa, comment में क्या है? You will be famous in Tamil Nadu.
Oh, nice. That's great. That's true. You will be. Okay, one more song. People are leaving now. So then we can probably.
What?
Just one song more. 2 songs. Okay. So this is.
3 songs more.
Oh my God. Okay. So see, people are so nice that they are continuing to attend your session. Despite they have their busy life, but they want to listen to you. That's nice. You should say thank you to all people.
Thank you.
Continue. Okay, but the session is not over. I mean, the session is over, but the performance is not over.
This is Spanish.
Okay, so last time I said she will sing in French, and Shika was like, okay, I know French. And then we started singing Spanish, and I was like, my God. Finally, she found out that it was a Spanish language, and she corrected me subsequently, because in French, I know only one statement.
Give my pen for one.
And that's it. Yes.
Can I start?
Yes, please. You can start, please.
Acting in your area. Scientific, me gupe. Tomundara como se fundo mi ondi. Fará agora luz. Tu me ves a ver tu mormor. Finales sus en la oscuridad. Caminos de perros, tengo atrás. Y dime que es precio, logras de que tu cono tus tres. Ja, dime qué tal. Te va a gustar, tarara, tarara. Dime qué tal. Barbie para bum bum bum. Te va a gustar, tarara, tarara, tarara. rami rami. Mirateo rami rami. Mirateo rami rami. Dime qué tal. Mirateo rami rami. Mirateo rami rami. Mirateo rami rami. Dime qué tal. Y como que no tengo todo solo que porque no hay no como que no reclamaron nada, no me no vuelta, no tengo el tío, se dice de usar, con un rato, y que de las ferias en la oscuridad, amigos son medio hora tengo atrás, mira que me desprecio, horas, es que toca uno, dos, tres, ja, dime qué tal. Te va a gustar, tarara, tarara, dime qué tal, para bim, para bum, bum, bum. Te va a gustar, tarara, tarara, mírate ahora, mírame, mírate ahora, mírate ahora, mírame, dime qué tal. Mírate ahora, mírame, mírate ahora, mírame, mírate ahora, mírame, dime qué tal.
Next, please. Just one more, please.
How was it?
How? Okay. So this time she's not asking me how was it. Okay. You know, she's reading the comments and after that responding like, okay. So one more, like, how many songs will you?
2 more.
Okay. So can we end in one more? Okay, you can, because it seems like these are really nice people. They have to cook dinner. Someone has to go for a corona practice. Someone has to manage their children, their medical practice and council practice, but they're still continuing to attend this video. Okay, fine. I continue, please. I'm afraid of you now. Can you speak which song you're going to sing in which language?
I'm singing Korean and English mixed. Kill This Love by Blackpink. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Blackpink in the area. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dùng sức khát cho na, nhưng nó không mà gặp cho bà, nhưng nó make cho cái cho na, nhưng nó phải bà, nên nó sống từ đang nó cha từ từ từ, yeah, từ nên nó yên nó yeah, sao nó yeah, you're not kicking a dog, you're not couple dog, wanna be wanna club. Mình đó, mình mấy từ nam mình sẽ, mình khóc từ nam mình đấy, mình rồi là mình nói cho nằm đi. I know it. Look at me. Look at you. You smile. Look at you are. Look at me. You're so sorry. Look at you are now. No matter night you're Jesus. Oh, sir. So I'm going to today. Get this love, let's kill this love. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ram ba bam ba bam ba ba. Let's kill this love. Ram ba bam ba bam ba ba. And the whoop. Listen, you look crazy, we all messed up this love is my favorite. You last me, Sally, and turn me danger. Look at me, look at you, we lie. So what, so what? Look at me, so sorry. No, sorry, no, no, when the night you need so sad, so it's hard to take. To win the Lord, get this love, let's kill this love. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ram ba bam ba bam ba ba. Kill this love. Ram ba bam ba bam ba ba.
You can ask how was it.
How was it?
Hello. Hello. हाँ
You-
विशाखा बोलो ना.
Have you heard of this song Satisfier?
हाँ बोलो विशाखा फटाक से बोलो. Join right now. Okay, meeting is over. Meeting is over by the way, but my daughter is performing like. Okay, you want to see hear that?
Have you heard of this song Satisfier?
So it's not from my side. Why should I remove you? Okay. Okay. So we'll talk later.
ਗੱਡੀ Lamborghini ਪੀਲੇ ਰੰਗ ਦੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਏ ਜਿਲਾ ਵਿਸਲਾਉਣੀ ਉਹ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਖੇਡਦੇ ਉਹ ਜਦ ਮੋਰਦੀ ਉਹ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਐ the one and only I ਵਿਚਾਰੇ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਨੇ ਗਿਲਾ ਦੇ ਘਾਟ ਵਿਚਾਰੇ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਨੇ ਜਾਬਤ ਦੀ ਕਪਾਤ ਰੱਬ ਦੇ ਕੈਸੀਆਂ ਤਬੇ ਖਾੜਾ ਅਬੇ ਖਾੜੇ now I'm a rider provider bring the heat down. I'ma bring the fire and my necklace so ain't no rider. So my job is let's satisfy Come me with the microphone. I'm in the middle of not good in another stop insane now. So my Jason, I'm on your Jane now. Someone kiss again, cheese at your problem. Going along, kissing is the problem. Somebody can agree. The problem I give some cure and the person. I'm a rider, provider. Bring the heat, I'm a bring a fire. And my neck is going no wider. So my job is to satisfy in the hard work I'm only a soul in a house for them. Here's the me about it in the face of the so this is the way and I'm not crazy. I'm only a soul in a hard work I'm only a soul in a house for them. Here's the me about it in the face of the so this is the way I am a rider, provider, bring the heat, I'm on the fire. I'm a necklace when you're wider. So my job is to satisfy provider, bring the heat, I'ma bring the fire. And my necklace when you're wider. So my job is to satisfy
Enter. Correct. Very good. And you should thanks also orally also.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone. You say that thank you for staying for a long time. Say Eva, thank you for staying.
Thank you for staying for a long time.
And thank you for listening. Really appreciate. Thank you everyone for staying for the long time. And so it was great to have you all. I hope tonight you will not watch any TV because this was a sufficient entertainment for one day. Right? So we learned a lot, gut-brain linkage. And after that, we had a good entertainment as well. So thank you everyone. See you Friday. Friday session will be only for Yes, yes. Okay, Dr. Nivedita has wrote, thank you so much for the stress buster. That's great. So Friday is reserved for fellows only, and then Monday for everyone. So we'll meet on Friday, those who are fellows. Okay. So see you. You also. Thank you. Thank you again. Thank you once again.
Bye. Thank you.
Oh, Dr. Nivedita, Shikha, Sujata, Kolika, Sonal, Deepika, Rohini, Larry, Dr. Pradeepa, Usha, Priyanka Bansal Bharti, Dr. Anupama, Dr. Sakti, Monika. That's great. Oh, Dr. Nivedita is still there. That's great. It's so nice of her. She is also there. Dr. Deepali, Selin, Vidi, Smita, Arshida, Monika, Usha. That's great. Deepika. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
कुछ ज्यादा ठंडा नहीं हो गया एसी बंद करना पड़ता
Okay.
I am like ice.
Okay.
My legs can't move.
Okay. See you next Friday. Thank you, everyone. I'm ending the meeting.
BTS
So nice
song.
of you. What?
BTS song. We need to hear
Yeah.
BTS song.
What is BTS?
BTS एक ग्रुप का नाम है जैसे ब्लैकपिंक है.
Nice. Okay. Sometime we will do that. Sujata. Okay. Fine. That's great.
I will learn
Thank you,
dynamite and butter.
Okay. Whatever you feel. That's up to you. Okay. Have a great time. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for staying till there. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.